What if I told you that most startups do not fail because of lack of passion, lack of funding, or lack of intelligence, but because they spend years building something nobody actually wants? Imagine putting your heart, time, and savings into an idea, only to realize too late that the market never needed it in the first place. This painful reality is more common than most people realize, and according to Eric Ries, it is almost always preventable. In The Lean Startup Asterisk, Eric Ries introduces a completely new way of thinking about building businesses, products, and ideas under uncertainty. This book is not just about startups in Silicon Valley. It applies to anyone trying to create something new, whether it is a business, a product, a service, a nonprofit, or even a content channel. At its core, this book is about learning faster, wasting less effort, and building things people actually care about. Most traditional business advice tells us to start with a detailed plan. We are encouraged to write long business plans, predict future revenue, design perfect products, and execute flawlessly. But Eric Ries argues that this approach is deeply flawed when the future is uncertain. Startups do not fail because they cannot execute. They fail because they execute the wrong plan extremely well. Eric Ries defines a startup in a very specific way. A startup is not defined by its size, industry, or funding. A startup is a human institution designed to create a new product or service under conditions of extreme uncertainty. This definition is powerful because it removes the glamour and exposes the truth. If you do not know whether what you are building will work, you are operating under uncertainty, and that makes you a startup. This includes small businesses, side hustles, internal projects inside big companies, and even creative ventures like YouTube channels. The biggest mistake people make when starting something new is assuming they already know what customers want. They fall in love with their idea and begin building immediately. They spend months or even years developing features, refining designs, and perfecting systems, all based on assumptions. By the time they finally release their product, they discover that customers are indifferent or uninterested. The problem was never effort. The problem was building without learning. According to Eric Ries, the true goal of a startup is not to make money immediately, grow fast, or impress investors. The true goal is validated learning. Validated learning means discovering, through real-world testing, what customers actually want and what they are willing to pay for. Every idea begins as a set of assumptions. The job of a startup is to test those assumptions as quickly and cheaply as possible.